Hello and welcome to this concert. It is now 4 o'clock here in Alexandria, Virginia, 9 o'clock in France. So we're going to be able to begin this concert. Thank you so much for being here, whether you're watching this now or on replay. It's a pleasure to know that you guys are at the other end of the phone, of the computer. Just a few announcements. If you are sensitive to swear words, now's your chance to turn off this performance. You'll have been warned. Aside from this, I think that I'm smart when I write complicated lyrics, but then when it's time to sing them live, I forget them. So I'm going to have some papers right here with my lyrics on them. And so if I'm looking at that, well, y'all all know what it means. So with that, I'm going to begin this concert with a little introduction. This is I'm from Paris, France. And my guitar just went spectacularly out of tune. I don't know what happened. But you should know that the temperature dropped by about 15 degrees Celsius last night. So this is the kind of stuff that happens. And I don't know what happened, but I'm going to deal with this now, and then we're going to start. And this will leave time for extra people to show up. I see that we have 10 people. Well, I did not expect 10 people to be live on this stream. So again, thank you guys for being here. I scheduled this show for 9 p.m. French time, and then France changed the hour just last night. So went back an hour. This is why I moved it to 4 p.m. Here we are at 4 p.m. in DC. I just tuned this guitar 1 second ago and decided to go completely off on me. So here I am tuning again, and we're tuned. We're ready to go. All right. I'm from Paris, France. I speak proper English, I'm a Yankee like you, so worry not, my friend. There's just this place that I was born to, you might be interested in. You probably think that I'm sophisticated, scarf around my sport coat, having a candlelit dinner with a femme fatale on a riverboat. But please don't you get intimidated by the place where my parents emigrated. Don't get caught up, don't you get in a trance, 'cause I'm from Paris, France. Well, I'm from Paris, France. Yes, I hold my fork in my left hand, but my passport is American. I mail my ballot in from overseas. Don't forget to do that and keep a secret stash of Kraft mac and cheese. So please don't you get intimidated by the place where my parents emigrated. Now don't get worked up, don't you get in a trance, 'cause I'm from Paris, France. And when I sit down at my corner cafe, a dude from Oklahome'd probably think I'm gay, but don't get hung up on the way I'm dressed, 'cause I'm American and French. Well, I'm American and French. Yes, I watch soccer. You probably think it's lame, but it is my favorite game. I like my sausage and my red wine. Complain about politics all the time, so please don't you get intimidated by the place where my parents emigrated. No, don't get worked up, don't you get in a trance, 'cause I'm from Paris, France. And when I sit down at my corner cafe, a dude from Oklahoma'd probably think I'm gay, but don't get hung up on the way I'm dressed, 'cause I'm American and French. Yes, I'm American and French. Whoa, 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 I'm American and I'm American and I'm American and French. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for tuning in tonight or today, depending on where you are. And I'd like to make a special shout out to my friend Marco, who's joining us from Brussels and whose birthday it is today. You know, the fact that you're here on my birthday, really appreciate it. Happy birthday again. And it's beautiful to have so many of the people I love here. So I'm going to continue. Obviously, this song was an introduction, like a self-introduction, as if, you know, there were people who don't actually know me here. But anyway, it's good to have it. This was I'm from Paris, France. It's on my YouTube channel. So if you missed it or missed part of it or want to hear it again, you can just look it up later. I'm going to move on to the next song. This is Roots, still about family history. Well, the people in my family tree didn't really know what staying put means. They were moving all around, from continent, continent, town to town. My roots are here, my roots are there, my roots are everywhere. My grandpa was born not bred, just a few years old, and his family fled. Water ripped the south land. Uncle Sam gave him a helping hand. My roots are here, my roots are there, my roots are everywhere. Well, he was into Korea, hell of a way to start a new career. He came back in one piece, went back to Europe for a little peace. Well, maybe one day I'll settle down in a big city or a local town, buy a 15-acre ranch and pass it down the family branch. My roots are here, my roots are there, my roots are everywhere. Well, when you got 3 passports, it ain't easy to choose a calling port. There's always a place to call home, but I'm never too far from the aerodrome. Yeah, the people in my family tree didn't really know what staying put means. They were showing all around, from continent, continent, and town to town. My roots are here, my roots are there, my roots are everywhere, 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 everywhere. Thank you very much for being here once again. This was Roots, a song written this year, but that I've had in mind for a few years now. So now I'm going to whip out one of those harmonicas, because after all, there is going to be some harmonica on this show. And the theory is that you're supposed to warm up your harmonica, for example, by putting it under your armpit before you start playing it, because then otherwise the wood that's in there, you know, it's very expensive shit, expensive woodwork. you don't want it to snap because that's automatically $50 being deducted from your account. So anyway, even though I forgot to do it, I'm going to take the risk because the show must go on. You probably know that we are in a very particular year. And honestly, it wouldn't have occurred to me to do a gig on YouTube if it weren't for that. So I guess at least there are a few positives to the situation that we're in. And this is an ode to this weird time. This is the Quarantine Blues. Again, it's on my YouTube channel. So maybe you've already seen it. Maybe you haven't seen it yet. You can always find it there afterwards. We'll make the most of every trip to the store. Buy your toilet paper rolls and bean and bacon soups galore. I'm singing these quarantine blues, sitting at home and bored. Well, you can't go to church, you can't go to your neighborhood bar, and you can't visit your friends and your family near and far. Singing these quarantine blues really feels bizarre. Well, stay 6 feet away from your kith and kin. Go on a lonesome jog or take your car for a spin. Take these quarantine blues with a smile and grin. Here's my smile and grin. Well, hey, social animal, you're now alone. Whoa. Hey, Mr. President, when's your next game of golf? Singing these quarantine blues, it's hard to isolate yourself. I'm letting you in on a secret. I got the virus from hell, but none of the neighbors know. Otherwise I would end up like Jesus Christ for sure. When I sing these quarantine blues, honey, make sure you close the door. Yes, I am sitting inside, all nice and hunkered. I cannot wait for it to leave my bunker, and I'll celebrate like I just turned 16 and live like there's no tomorrow until the next quarantine. This is the Quarantine Blues. We have been in quarantine or semi-quarantine or 2/3 of the way for a while now. And I did write this song right about 2 or 3 weeks into having the coronavirus. This is when I started having some serious problems like shortness of breath and shit. But I'm back here, and as you can see, my voice is back where it was before, which is no guarantee of quality, but it's much better than when you have to catch your breath every 2 seconds in the middle of a sentence. So we gotta be grateful for what we have. All right, this is gonna move into more controversial material. I wasn't raised religious, and I've always learned about other religions and thinking, amen, huh? And thinking, well, this all sounds really nice, but like, what about actually doing what the religion says? It says like Christianity is a religion of peace, Judaism is a religion of peace, Islam is a religion of peace. And then what you see out there is people who are of this religion and don't actually practice it. And I don't have religion. I feel like I'm able to practice, peace, practice what I preach or what other people preach in this case. So this is an ode to this. This is in the name of religion. Let's do this. Why have so many bad things been done in the name of religion? Why so many bad things been done in the name of religion? If you deprive your neighbor of shelter and food, you and I haven't read the same Talmud. Why have so many bad things been done in the name of religion? In the name of religion. Why have so many bad things been done in the name of religion? Why have so many bad things been done in the name of religion? If you're down to plane with 100 people on, you and I haven't read the same Quran. Why have so many bad things been done in the name of religion? In the name of religion. Why have so many bad things been done in the name of religion? Why have so many bad things been done in the name of religion? If you point a gun at two gay men, you might need to read the Bible again. Why have so many bad things been done in the name of religion? In the name of religion. Why have so many bad things been done in the name of religion? Why have so many bad things been done in the name of religion? If Jesus Christ did still exist, he'd probably be an atheist. Why have so many bad things been done in the name of religion? In the name of religion. If you kneel down by your bed and ask your God for forgiveness, why don't you start by showing just a little, showing just a little kindness? Why have so many bad things been done in the name of religion? Why have so many bad things been done in the name of religion? If you're gonna shoot a black man right in his back, don't wear that cross around your neck. Why have so many bad things been done in the name of religion? In the name of religion. Why have so many bad things been done in the name of religion? Why have so many bad things been done in the name of religion? No, I don't need no God above to respect other people and spread the love. Why have so many bad things been done in the name of religion? In the name of religion. If you kneel down by your bed and ask your God for forgiveness, why don't you start by showing just a little, showing just a little, showing just a little kindness? I'll say it one last time. Why have so many bad things been done in the name of religion? Why have so many bad things been done in the name of religion? If you're offended by this song, there must be something you've done wrong. Why have so many bad things been done in the name of religion? In the name of religion. Thank you guys very much. And again, if you're offended by this song, ask yourself what you have done wrong. There, I've said it. It's not actually controversial given the public I'm talking to, but for any future clearance investigators, well, this is what I think and I stand by it. I see that there's outrage in the comments. That's the way I like it. I like it controversial. All right. So, they think that normally blues songs are sad songs, except in general, my life is pretty good and it's pretty happy, and I have like fairly few things to be sad about. So sometimes I have to reach a little bit to write blues, and so I have to conquer other territories that are not usually covered by the blues. You know, the first bluesmen were people who were working on cotton plantations, so my life is relatively cool compared to this. So you got to write the blues on whatever you have on hand, and so this is my blues, crying over spilled milk. When I fix my morning cup, I'm waiting like a starving pup. But there's one thing that I cannot stand. That's when the cup slips from my hands. I get all red and I freak out. I start to scream and I stomp and I shout. Cannot help but lose my cool, even though I feel just like a fool while I'm crying over spilled milk. Ain't no use crying over spilled milk. Ain't no news, I'm crying over spilled milk. Down comes the drop of death. She sees it and she holds her breath. It's not even a 1-inch stain, but how could it cause so much pain? She sees the steam erupting from the kettle. I start to scream like I'm singing heavy metal. The hurricane's blowing, I can't escape my fate. All that's left to do is to evacuate while I'm crying over spilled milk. Ain't no use crying over spilled milk. Ain't no news, I'm crying over spilled milk. That's my blues, I'm crying over spilled milk. The mustard and the custard and the yogurt and the soup, one big sticky pile of goop. And the beer and the borscht and the berry juice splatter. After all, does it really matter? Yes it does, 'cause I'm crying over spilled milk. Ain't no use crying over spilled milk. Ain't no news, I'm crying over spilled milk. That's my blues, I'm crying over spilled milk. I wish I could press Control-Z to undo this calamity. But when I wear my favorite shirt, my food decides to spurt and squirt. There are 7 billion people in humanity. Why must this surprising attack target me? I don't mind seeing a cookie crumble, but I lose my shit when I see a glass of milk tumble. Yes, I'm crying over spilled milk. Ain't no use crying over spilled milk. Ain't no news, I'm crying over spilled milk. That's my blues, I'm crying over spilled milk. Thank you guys very much. This is the first time that I play this song in public, really. It's been composed with some people I really appreciate, including Mike. I don't know if he is with us today. I think he had other plans, but I appreciate his input, and I don't think this song would have been created if it weren't for his influence. So this one's for you. crying over spilled milk. And those who know me know that there's nothing that makes me more crazy than spilling shit. Actually, I think I spilled coffee on this shirt this morning, but couldn't be bothered to change it anyway. Video doesn't show everything, but I want to be transparent. So I'm going to switch guitars right now. I'm going to go to this steel string, which I tried to tune in an open G tuning for some slide blues. Of course, these strings are being very rowdy. They're not letting themselves be dictated what they're gonna do. But I'm gonna win anyway. Alright. Still on the topic of religion, I somehow got to the age of 25 without ever having been to an actual wedding. Because, well, I don't know, in my family people get divorced, they don't get married. It's a different lifestyle. But anyway, I was invited to the wedding of a high school friend who is extremely religious, and so it was not only my first time at a wedding, it was my first time at a Christian wedding, and this was a very different experience, to put it mildly. And yeah, we should start throwing divorce parties. I don't know if that's the atmosphere that, if it's the party atmosphere though. But yeah, anyway, this is my impressions of this wedding. This is She Said Yes. Used to know this woman, she was just 23. This handsome young man got down on his knees and said, "Will you marry me?" So she said yes. She said yes. And she might have gotten herself in some kind of hot mess. Well, they both got religion, pray the Lord every day. The preacher said, "Don't you give her no kiss, just get on your knees and pray." So they said yes. They said yes. And after all, they might have gotten in some kind of hot mess. She'd be pregnant at 26, have a baby at 27, and in exchange for 2 or 3 more, they said she'd be going to heaven, so they said yes. Well, they said yes. And she might have gotten herself in some kind of hot mess. I'll show you a hot mess. She's too young to be married, wouldn't do it if it were me. But with that ring on that finger and that smile on her face, well, she looks so happy because she said yes. Well, she said yes. And after all, it might not need that much of a wedding mess. Again, thanks everyone for tuning in. This was She Said Yes, and yes, the preacher did say, like, now he said in those words, this is not Hollywood, so now they're not going to kiss, they're going to pray. And I kid you not, the second they were pronounced married, they just got down on their knees and prayed. You know, I felt like an elephant in a china shop in this place, but hey, at least I lost my wedding virginity. Anyway, we're going to move on to a little bit of a country segment. Everybody has had romantic experiences. Some went well, others less well. But there's one thing that anybody will tell you. It's that long-distance relationships don't work. And, you know, sometimes it's like a little kid that has to put his finger on the candle just to check that, yes, it does burn indeed. And I did it myself, and I found out for myself. This is A Plane to See Your Lover. If you've tried, then you fail, and you've cried, and you've wailed, 'cause this doesn't always end just the way that we pretend. And when it doesn't end just the way that it should, it does more harm than good. If you have to get on a plane to see your lover, if you have to take a train, just spare yourself the pain. If you have to get on a plane to see your lover, you will try and you will fail. You will cry and you will wail. Don't go round thinking that you're special, that you can do what others can't. 'Cause you know that success stories of this kind, you know they're all but scant. Think of all of this time spent in line at TSA check for a few days of love. That's time that you don't get back. If you had to get on a plane to see your lover, if you have to take a train, just spare yourself the pain. If you have to get on a plane to see your lover, you will try and you will fail. You will cry and you will wail. Baby, we have both been here. Our faces have been drowned in long distance tears. So if you had to get on a plane to see your lover, or if you have to take a train, just spare yourself the pain. Yeah, if you have to get on a plane to see your lover, you will try and you will fail. You will cry and you will wail. This was A Plane to See Your Lover. It's what I call the Adele song department because, as you know, Adele has this unique ability to make an entire album of songs on just one subject, that is breakups, and somehow all the songs are good. So I don't have that ability, but I have a few songs in the Adele department. But this is going to be slightly different. This is the time where I explained to you how hectic it was to set up this concert. Believe it or not, you think you just press a button from your house, but it turns out to play a concert in general, you have to have a public. I looked for places where I could play before Corona, and they didn't really give a shit what kind of music you played. All they wanted to do is bring lots of people into their establishment, their wine festival or whatever. And so the only requirement to play for those venues was actually not the quality of the music you played, but the number of followers that you have. This song is named Followers. And actually, I found out that in order to broadcast from your phone on YouTube, you also need 1,000 followers, believe it or not. So, well, if you have a YouTube account and you want to subscribe to this channel, we can take it a few people closer to 1,000, but I don't think it's going to happen today or tomorrow. So I'm going to keep broadcasting from my computer. This is why the sound quality is not as good as it would be on a phone, but I hope it's still good enough for you guys to listen. Anyway, here's Followers. We'll give you $20 and a pint of beer if you can get 1,000 people in here. How many followers have you got on your page? Wow. And if you ain't got no followers, don't you come to our stage. Wow. Followers, how many have you got? How many people would be willing to flock to come to our bar and listen to your outdated rock? We don't listen to the music long as the register eats. You gotta get them followers upon their feet. Yeah, how many followers have you got on your page? If you ain't got no followers, don't you come to our stage. We don't mind the style and we don't mind the genre. You could be singing the blues or you could even be singing opera, but how many followers have you got on your page? If you ain't got no followers, don't you come to our stage. Now you gotta be the prophet, gotta be the next Messiah. You gotta do all on the social media. Yeah, how many followers have you got on your page? If you ain't got no followers, don't you come to our stage. I said followers, how many have you got? How many people be willing to flock to come to our bar and listen to your outdated rock. Yeah, they listen to your outdated rock. 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 Oh, won't you tell me how many followers have you got? This is followers. And yes, indeed, sometimes short distance relationships don't work either. I do acknowledge that, but I guess you can't put too many obstacles in your own way. Anyway, this is followers. Remember to listen to music based on how much you like it and what its quality is, and not just the number of followers they have. But I'm sure that if you're here, you already know that this matters. So it's all good for me. So we are going to move on to a node, to a place that I unfortunately haven't visited in almost 2 years. It's one of my favorite places on earth, not least for its people. This is people of California. And yes, this guitar is still in tune. Yay. Don't you know how much I love the good people of California? Warmth and kindness coming from their hearts. They've got endless love to spend, and they'll always treat you as their friend, no matter if you are from near or far. How I love to go to the beach and see the Mexican family and see them living their American dream. Sitting in their blue beach chairs, sipping on a Coke without a care, forgetting about the fact that Donald Trump is president. I don't know what I'll do with this song if Biden wins. How I love to go to the pier, walk around with wide open ears. Hear random people complimenting each other's clothes. They treat each other to a smile, and they forget about life for a while as they're living that LA life. Don't you know how much I love the good people of California? Warmth and kindness coming from their hearts. They've got endless love to spend, and they'll always treat you as a friend, no matter if you are from near or far. Sometimes you may feel mighty small with all these buildings long and tall, and a bumper-to-bumper traffic all day long. But if you just get out of your car and walk over to the nearest bar, you will be a completely different song. Don't you know how much I love the good people of California? Warmth and kindness coming from their heart. If you got a heart that you need to mend, the West is what I would recommend. No matter if you are from near or far, no matter if you are from near or far, no matter if you are from near or far. This was People of California. I love the people of California. Also, California has a lot of Mexicans, and I love Mexicans too. People are so laid back, kind, and friendly, and their food is delicious. Food accounts for a lot, I'm sorry, but it's true. So, yeah, I haven't been to California in nearly 2 years, but I hope to go there soon. California's been through a lot this year, the fires, the lockdown, everything. So, courage to everyone who is there or who is prevented from going there at the moment. And I hope to return to California soon, but now I'm going to return to Adele territory. I'm not referring to this archipelago near Antarctica. There, this harmonica was under my armpit the whole previous song. It must smell really nice now. It's not that bad, could be worse. And so now we're going to go back into the Adele segment. As I said, this is the oldest song on this set. It's almost 10 years old. It's scary. But yeah, this is Things I'm Better Without. Why do you keep saying you want me back, even though you made my life so black? If you wanted me to say yes, maybe you should not have acted like a princess. But there are things that I'm better without. Yes, it's you I'm talking about. You put me through such pain and misery. You blew a big dark cloud on me. You thought that there would be no consequence, and so you kept aggravating your offense. Yeah, there are things that I'm better without. And yes, it's you I'm talking about. Yes, there are things that I'm better without. Yes, it's you I'm talking about. You thought that you would get away with it, but my patience does have a limit. Next time you wanna act so bad, just think of the guy that you will make sad. 'Cause there are things that I'm better without. And yes, it's you I'm talking about. Yes, there are things that I'm better without. Yes, it's you I'm talking about. You're only making the whole thing worse for yourself. Your picture was never made for myself. Our time together has come to an end. And so go get yourself another friend. Yes, I had let you in, but now I'm kicking you out. 'Cause there are things that I'm better without. Yeah, there are things that I'm better without. And yes, it's you I'm talking about. This was Things I'm Better Without. Almost 10 years old. I didn't think it would get to a point where a song that I'd written would be almost 10 years old and still usable, because that's another nuance. There were a lot of songs from back then, but you got to be selective with what you put out there. So anyway, I thought you guys might get tired of the sound of the guitar. So I decided to go out on a limb and plan a little a cappella harmonica, half improvisation, not entire improvisation, because I'm not crazy either. So this is kind of like showing myself naked to y'all. Obviously, I'm going to keep all my clothes, because otherwise YouTube might have a thing or two to say about it. But I am going to take off all my metaphorical clothes and perform this rendition of one of only 2 covers in this entire set. This is a song that's almost 100 years old, so a lot older than Things I'm Better Without. This is Rolling and Tumbling. Thanks for providing me with a safe space. Rolling a tumble, cried the whole night long. Rolling a tumble, cried the whole night long. Bad feeling that something was going wrong. Want you to love me, or please let me be. Want you to love me, or please let me be. If you don't like my peaches, please don't shake my tree. Want you to love me, won't you say you're mine? Want you to love me, won't you say you're mine? If you don't like my potatoes, please don't dig up my buns. Rolling a tumble, cry the whole night long. Rolling a tumble, cry the whole night long. Bad feeling, but something was going wrong. Bad feeling, but something was going wrong. Bad feeling that something was going wrong. This was Rolling and Tumbling. I'm not clapping at myself, I'm just getting all the spit out of that harmonica. Just wanted to set the record straight. So yeah, Rolling and Tumbling, written sometime in the 1920s and probably originally recorded a cappella also, because many of the blues songs that were made famous by the Eric Claptons and the Big Kings and all of them were actually first recorded a cappella. And I like listening to those recordings just as a time capsule. All right, now we're going to move on to another part of this show that is a major act of craziness, for lack of a better word. So I said there would be 2 covers total in this show. This is the second one. So they're going to be back to back. And I was thinking, classical musicians, classical singers, they often have to sing like 5 different languages in a same concert. And I like languages, and I like challenges. So since my main activity of the quarantine was learning and improving my Russian, I decided to sing a song in Russian. Now this is a little bit crazy, and I might choke on the lyrics, But very few people who are on this will be able to tell. So at least I have that for consolation. This is a song that's taken from a Soviet movie. It's called Business Romance in English. Its English title. It's available on YouTube because there's nobody left to claim the rights to it. And it's a very sweet movie. And this is a song taken from this movie, sung by the great Russian actress Elisa Freundlich. This is "У природы нет плохой погоды," which means in nature there's no such thing as bad weather. It's about being grateful for what you have. And this is exactly what I am. Obviously, there was no harmonica in the original version. Can't stick to all the characteristics. У природы нет плохой погоды. Каждая погода благодать. Дождь ли снег, любое время года надо благодарно принимать. Отзвуки душевной непогоды, в сердце одиночества печаль. И бессонниц горестные всходы надо благодарно принимать. Надо благодарно принимать. Смерть желанных годы невзгоды. С каждым днем все непосильнее кладь. Что тебе назначено природой, надо благодарно принимать. Смену лет, закаты и восходы, и любви последней благодать, как и дату своего ухода, надо благодарно принимать. Надо благодарно принимать. У природы нет плохой погоды, ход времен нельзя остановить. Осень жизни, как и осень года, надо, не скорбя, благословить. Надо, не скорбя, благословить. Надо, не скорбя, благословить. This was "У природы нет плохой погоды." In nature, there is no such thing as bad weather. I recommend you guys watch this movie, Business Romance. It's quite a funny movie, I have to say. It's really light. It's a light watch. So if you're not into watching something too heavy, given the remaining circumstances, I don't blame you. I'm not either. So, and yet, we're going to switch back to English now because, you don't want my brain to explode from singing too many Russian songs in one go. Obviously, I'm helped by the fact that this song is a serious earworm, and I've had it stuck in my head for about, 2 months since I watched the movie. Having a song stuck in your head for 2 months is a really long time, especially when it's basically a 3-second excerpt. So yeah, if I want to sing a song in Russian, I have to write out the lyrics in super big and super clear characters and write down the chords on top of it and just pray that I'm able to read them, because even if I write them myself, that doesn't mean that I will be able to. But anyway, I see some positive feedback in the chat, so thank you very much. It was a bit of a risk, obviously, but it is worth it. It is a nice song. So yeah, I'm gonna try to tune this guitar once and for all. Sorry about that little hiccup. It's gonna fall in line eventually. This B string is still too high somehow. But now, I said I recommended you watch that movie because it's a light watch. And yet I'm going to switch to a very heavy topic, which is, there was one thing that happened in May that was not the coronavirus that made things even worse than they already were, and that was, of course, the death of George Floyd. And, yet another black person getting killed by a cop. We're getting used to it now, but we shouldn't. So after watching part of a 9-minute video of somebody getting murdered, legally, allegedly, those were my impressions. This is It Didn't Have to Be You. It didn't have to be you. Could have been anyone. Could have been your brother. Could have been your son. Man, you don't know the rage, the sorrow and the pain that your sisters and brothers got running through their veins. You don't know that for you, the people took to the streets. You were the one to wake up call that got us all on our feet. You could have been jogging just a few blocks from home. You could have been watching TV with your front door closed. They may have had a badge, they may have had a gun. They may have been some small-time neighborhood vigilante looking for some cheap fun. We don't always get footage, but it happens every day. Millions of white hunters looking for the prey. I hope you rest in peace down in your silent grave. But while you fast asleep, you might feel the ground shake. Nobody will forget you. We know you weren't a crook. You'll be together with Rosa Parks down in history books. This won't bring you back. Now your life is over for good. Just cause you were on the wrong day, in the wrong neighborhood. never been stopped by flashing lights blue and red. Not even when I drank, not even when I spit. But if one day they do stop me, they let me off with a warning. It will all be forgotten when I wake up the next morning. But John Allah, he had his knee crushing your head. As you were lying face first on your asphalt deathbed. It didn't have to be you. And it didn't. What happened was almost a coincidence, with the way things are. It has to happen sometimes, and it's just, let's just hope it doesn't continue. After all, there's an election coming up in now 9 days. I cannot wait to find out the damn result, and I hope it's good. If you have a right to vote, go out and fucking vote already. Unless it's already done, like you have no excuse, please just do it. And I hope everybody does. Please. Anyway, clearly this will have made a huge difference in the election result, right? I voted, and I just can't wait to see the results and hopefully some good news. But we're going to stay on a political topic. I hope nobody here is into conspiracy theories, because if you are, you're probably not going to understand this song the way I meant it. Because, that's important too. And due to popular demand, I have slowed down this song compared with its recording, because people want to be able to make out the lyrics. So assuming that I do say the lyrics correctly, you'll be able to hear them. This is I Don't Believe. I don't believe what they say. I don't believe what I see. I don't believe anything unless it agrees with me. My child won't have no vaccine. Jesus is your best medicine, and I will cure every ill with hydroxychloroquine. And the earth is flat, and 9/11 was an inside job. Obama was never born in the U.S., so let me join the angry mob. Guns are safe and I will keep mine. I don't care about Columbine, and I might shoot up the school, but don't you tread on my rights. Wake up, people, Baker Cage. Sandy Hook was clearly staged, but I've only ever read about Sandy Hook on my brother-in-law's Facebook. But there's a secret society building towers for 5G, using airplane sleeping trails, and plant robot chips in our brains. I won't wear a mask, don't force me. I'll stand closer than 6 feet. It doesn't take being a sleuth to know we're not being told the truth. Coronavirus don't exist. Ain't no such thing as a specialist. If somebody prove me wrong, I'll just remove him from my list. No hard facts, don't touch me. If they come from NBC, I got this gut feeling in my bones. To you only ever trust Alex Jones. I'll vote Trump and you won't stop me. I'll hack into the DNC. Trump will stay till 24 and he'll close the CDC. When Joe Biden ain't sleepy, he binges on child pornography. His son's in trouble in the Ukraine. He's just as bad as Hillary. Bitches, you'll rot in hell for her calling me an incel. Women are the public enemy because they keep rejecting me. I don't believe in what they say. I don't believe what I see. I don't believe anything unless it agrees with me. I wish there could be a cure for when I feel so insecure. When somebody in their right mind tells me I'm full of horse manure. But I feel so happy in my alternate reality, where I can always play that someone else is to blame. I don't believe what they say. I don't believe what I see. I don't believe anything unless it agrees with me. Thank you very much for being here again. This was I Don't Believe. This was obviously a more political song, but I'm pretty sure that nobody here will disagree with what was said in there. So yeah, indeed, there is QAnon out there. There are lots of people who believe in conspiracy theories. I was wondering how the YouTube algorithm was going to react to my saying some of the words that are in there, some of the more sensitive ones, but evidently this broadcast is still ongoing, so this means that it's not that strict. I don't know if we should be reassured or not. But anyway, we're going to go back into the Adele department one last time. We got 3 songs left on the list. If you guys still don't have enough of those 3 songs, that just means we're going to have to do another gig some other time. But let's not get ahead of ourselves and let's go back to the Adele department. As I said, this is a sad song. There has to be some sometimes. This is Days of Pain. If I had known the days of pain that I'd be forced to power through, maybe I would have stayed a bachelor all alone in my room. 'Cause you know love can be so tender, the way it grips your helpless heart makes you think that it can last forever. Then it tears your world apart. Yeah, sweet love can seem so perfect, like no one can do you harm. When you love another person, you don't feel strong. You feel disarmed. You feel how love can twist your arm. you fall in love with someone, you set yourself up for so much pain. Because love always starts with bright sunshine, then it ends in pouring rain. If you bite into that apple, oh, it will taste so very sweet, but it can become oh so bitter. You can choke on China seeds. Maybe one day I will feel better. We'll be water under the bridge. It will be a tall hill to climb. I'll have to walk many a sharp bridge. So if I had known the days of pain that I'd be forced to power through, maybe I would have stayed just a bachelor, all alone in my room. This was Days of Pain. It's also on my YouTube channel. So already getting ready to say goodbye to you guys because, you know, time flies when you're having fun. Got 2 songs left. And when this is over, you guys can find my YouTube channel. You've already found it, evidently. And you can also find me on SoundCloud. The songs that are on YouTube are not the same as the ones that are on SoundCloud. So you'll actually get a bang for your buck, so to speak, because it's all free. On both places. So go to SoundCloud. If you don't know SoundCloud, it's like sound and then a cloud. And you can look up my stage name, Henry K. Noble, and you will find me there. So I hope you guys have a nice listen. And now we're going to stay one last time in the Adele department. This is a song called Too Damn Long. And it's a few years old now already. All right, here it goes. I can still hear your voice echoing through the hall. The memories as fresh as paint on a wall. I still have your toothbrush standing next to my sink. I still have your pajamas in my drawer, so I think you're not gone. You're still there, and I wish it were true, because I just can't dare to imagine my life without you by my side. Even though you've been swept away by the tide. Too damn long to forget, to move on. It's gonna take me too damn long to look into the future, to carry on. Too damn long to forget, to move on. It's gonna take me too damn long. I can still picture us moving in together, pretending for the summer and freezing in the winter. And I would make your morning tea, you'd make my morning coffee. Every day I want to wake up to your embrace, feeling our arms and our legs interlaced. And I still hear your favorite song once in a while, but the melody feels so wrong. Too damn long to forget, to move on. It's gonna take me too damn long to look into the future and to carry on. Too damn long to forget, to move on. It's gonna take me too damn long. Couldn't imagine it'd be over someday. Couldn't imagine we'd throw it all away. Now I still can't do the pain. I still can't imagine we went down different paths. No, I still can't. Too damn long to forget, to move on. It's gonna take me too damn long to look into the future and to carry on. Too damn long, too damn long, too damn long, too damn long to forget, to move on. It's gonna take me too damn long. Too damn long, 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 too damn long. It's gonna take me too damn long. This was too damn long. Again, thank you very much for being here. This is going to be my last song. You know, there's got to be an end to everything. All good things come to an end. But at least I'm not going to end with an Adele song, with an Adele style song. That's one positive I'll take away from this last song. Before I forget, I'd like to also wish a perspective, or like an almost happy birthday to my dear friend Oriane, who's going to turn 26 tomorrow. I know that it's not fair to talk about a lady's age, but after all, you know, equality and shit. So happy birthday in a few hours now. Requests? Well, actually, sure. I'm going to play this one song, and if you can think of any requests to make this party last a little bit longer, I could play another song or two if you know, it's something that I can pull off without having rehearsed it. So if you guys have any requests, just throw it in the chat, and I'm afraid that request will not be able to be accommodated. I would have to rework it completely, that song that is described by certain emojis. But anyway, this is going to be the last song that I've planned for tonight, and also a tribute to the person who put not this particular guitar, but a guitar in my hands when I was 16, and told me, just, you know, learn these two chords and tell me when you've learned them and when you can switch from them and back and forth easily. So at first I was like, it sounded horrible. But eventually I got enough velocity in my fingers to make it happen. And, you know, went on from there. And here we are now. So I would like to pay a tribute to my dad, who put this guitar in my hands back in the day and made this whole thing happen indirectly. And so I decided to cover one of his songs. You should visit his website also, vincentnobile.com. He wrote the song in French, which is called Débardeur Blanc, so white tank top, if you will. And I really liked it, and I want to cover it, but it's a not safe for work song, NSFW. And so you want to get past the awkwardness of singing a song like that written by your own dad. So to introduce a distance, I translated it into English, which I'm more comfortable singing anyway. And this is how the song Dandelion Dress was born. So here's Dandelion Dress. Like to look at you when you read your daily press. Like to look at you when your hair is a mess. Like to look at you when you relax and when you stress. I like to look at you in your dandelion dress. Like to look at you when you bend and when you stretch. Like to look at you when I hear your heavy breath. Like to look at you when you lead and transgress and you dress to impress in your dandelion dress. Like to look at you, then see the fabric flex stretched out by the curves of your wonderful breasts. I like to look at you and see the fabric press on your waist and your thighs and your hips and your legs. I like it when you bop me like a lion, just pouncing at my body in your dandelion dress. And if you'll pardon my French, I like my hands on your vest. No BS, I confess, your dandelion dress is like a second skin. When we about to give in, and when we begin, all my gears are grinding. I like to look at you from every angle, such finesse. I like to look at you when you give me a sweet caress. I like to look at you bounce up and down on my bed, sudden death in a mess. Your dandelion dress, your dandelion dress, your dandelion dress. Your dandelion dress, your dandelion, your dandelion dress, your dandelion, your dandelion dress, your dandelion, your dandelion, your dandelion dress. Thank you very much. This was Dandelion Dress. This was the final song of this set. I really appreciate you guys' presence. We had, at the peak, we had 17 people on here. This is much more than I ever allowed myself to expect. Honestly, thank you so much. It was such a pleasure to be with you today, tonight, and just to see your comments in the chat. We spent a nice moment together, and it really gives me the motivation to plan some more gigs like this there's a lot of planning that goes into this, even though you don't have to actually book a venue, make sure people are there geographically. It's the magic of the internet, but that doesn't mean that solid work doesn't go into it. So it was a lot of work. I spent many, many hours rehearsing, and it was all worth it. Thank you very much for being here. I have no words to say how much I appreciate your presence and the time you took to watch this. It was like spending a moment with some people who are so dear to me and who are in completely different areas. There's no hope whatsoever to have you guys all in one same location for an actual in-person concert. So this is just wonderful, and I'll be looking forward to the next one. In the meantime, stay safe, stay healthy. Follow me on YouTube. Subscribe to me on YouTube. Follow me on SoundCloud. I don't even know what the proper terms are. I should really work up my advertising game. If y'all know any Instagram influencers. Anyway, thank you very much. Take care. It was lovely to share this moment with you. And until the next time, bye-bye.